in success and understand that they put in the work and it's hard and it's stressful.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Where we got this wrong? Why 80%? Because it's 80%, 90% of the tech entrepreneurs, they don't follow exactly what you described, and they follow what I just telling you because I'm aware of it, because everybody come with this exactly with the same pattern and then looking for funding because they are about to collapse. So where the whole thing got lost in translation, because I still don't get it.
Yeah, I think the number one problem that I see is entrepreneurs think they have product market fit and they think they're ready to scale, to build, and sell, and they struggle because they never actually landed on a product market fit with a product that can scale. They go too early is what I'm constantly seeing, and they go too fast. This is not about overnight successes. That doesn't exist in the tech startup world.
And they don't want to talk to people, Hunter, right? They don't want to talk to people.
Well, they don't listen. They don't listen. And that's a huge problem, which is, even if they do talk to people, they really need to be shutting up and listening and understanding what it is that their potential customers might need.
Mm-hmm.
And, and another thing that I see a lot, and this is like maybe boring or not sexy, but it is so important. You have to be like extremely diligent about your cash flow. Okay, there's not another white knight investor coming in to save the day if you blow through your capital. And that's why, I'm talking about step 4, right? Building a proof of concept. And I said, as quick and dirty as possible. That is to preserve capital, because you do not know how many iterations you're going to need before you get product market fit, right? It might take a while. You might go off on little tangents.
It's not a 100-meter race. It's a kind of a marathon, right?
It is a marathon. It's not a race. And so you need to make sure that you have enough fuel in your tank, right? You can't sprint the first mile because you're not going to make the other 25.2 of them. And so, and in that metaphor, that's capital, right? And so being extremely careful and diligent about how you're spending your capital, about how long your runway is at your current run rate, understanding that deeply and knowing precisely the milestones that you need to hit to get to that next financial inflection point, whether that be a new round of funding or self-funded because you're earning enough revenue to fund your operation, which is better in a lot of cases, right? The more equity you can preserve, the better off you'll be in the long run. Even if it means you're moving slightly slower, a lot of times that's a better choice, is to be able to self-fund with your own revenue, and then you can grow predictably. So that to me is the number one thing, is they just run out of powder and they think there's just money's just going to be there, but they haven't proven their product. They don't have traction yet, and there's no money left. And that's when they shut down. I've seen it so many times.
Talk to people and listen. Look, Hunter, out of your 5 steps, you have 2 steps that talk only about listen. At the beginning, first listen, and then even before you start out and talk to people, your step 1 was talk to people and listen, step number 1. And then your step number 5 to get product market fit again was talk to people and listen. So why let me go and they just don't listen, right? So why they don't listen is that we have that ego. Okay, and all entrepreneurs we have ego. I always share in this podcast. Otherwise, we won't become entrepreneurs. We think that we can do better. Okay, so that ego is there. The problem is, Hunter, that I see is that this ego, especially if you're software developers, most of them come from corporate, they're making a lot of money in corporate, right? And now they want to do their own thing. So now they jump into the space that they think they know, and they think they have the recipe. So jumping to develop a tech solution with that ego, right? And then of course, when you talk to for them to listen, okay, and to talk to people, they have they're software developers, so we can agree that developers and they have a high IQ, right? So then it go mixed in translation that because they are so clever that they can solve mathematical problems and have a deeper analysis writing code, it get lost in translation that, well, if you're a marketing guy, you're a sales guy, you're an expert in business and come to give you an advice, well, don't worry about it, I know everything. You need to tell me that my product is going to be so good that it's going to sell by itself, so I don't need anything that you describing. My product is just different. And it's frustrating, Hunter, how many times I see tech entrepreneurs just gave me this answer, and how many good products never seen the light because after 2 years, 1 year, when I hear about the company, they're gone. And how many good products had disappeared just because of um, uh, this challenge. So how do you think, because at the end of the day we want a lot of startup founders, tech startup founders listen to this podcast, what message do you have for people that don't listen and don't want to talk to people, founders, tech
Yeah.
founders?
Yeah. So, you talk about ego, and I think that's true. And I think you have to have confidence in yourself to be successful as an entrepreneur. You do. But what ego leads to is overconfidence and a lack of flexibility in your vision. You have this beautiful vision and you think it's perfect and you're getting contrary feedback. And rather than being flexible with your vision, you're saying, no, I know what I'm doing.
Exactly there,
I'm
Hunter.
smart.
Exactly there is when the problem starts. So
Mhm.
why? Let's go deeper. Why this problem exists? I have a theory, Hunting. I don't know. Maybe I think that the people have seen these Google guys, that they were software developer, these Facebook guys. I don't know, that they become like billionaires, right? And there is a kind of a pattern or the story that they follow, right? That, oh, if I'm amazing creating this code and everything, I'm gonna become a multimillionaire and I'm gonna have my. And I think that the people, more effective role model is people exactly that follow the path that you described. With, by the way, I agree 100%. And this is, if you want to have any chance to survive in the tech space, I really, I really advise you to listen what Hunter just described, a very humble process. But if you listen to that process 2 3 times and you get it deep inside, you will move forward. You can save your company like that. So Hunter, what's the reason why what do you think that is, where this coming from, that when you that the entrepreneurs start to iterate the product, and at the first time they have what they think that's going to be the solution, okay, and they talk only with few people and they say, well, I don't think that that form this is going to work, and then they land exactly when I mean, I hear things like, if you don't like it, don't worry about it. I'm gonna find more people, rather than people leaning to you, say, look, I'm willing to pay for this, but can you do it in this way? I got the money, but can you allocate what I need? I said, no, I'm sorry, we cannot do that because that's gonna cost us money. We need to develop. We will find someone that want exactly what we designed. So why do you think that they that they behave like that?
Yeah,
Because it's a lot of people, a lot of companies. Basically, the 80% that are failing. If you ask to everybody out there, they are behaving exactly like this. Because I saw a lot.
yeah, there's like a mythology around startups and particularly startup founders, right? They're glorified, they're heroes. And people forget, you know, Amazon was a bookstore, right? An online bookstore. And Facebook was basically hot or not, right? Kind of rating people's pictures on whether or not you thought that they were attractive, right? All these startups, they didn't start the way that led to their tremendous success, right? They pivoted, they adapted, they listened, they changed. They had the confidence to take hard feedback and actually incorporate it into their product, right? And so I think there's mythology there. There is um, either you don't have good mentors or you're not listening to them, which goes back to ego and to listening. I didn't know listening was going to be such a theme today, but it really is.
Oh, for what
Um,
we're talking, you're 100%
yeah,
right. I couldn't agree more with you.
yeah, and so we have to kind of push aside the mythology of being a startup founder and seeing overnight, million, billion, whatever in success and understand that they put in the work and it's hard and it's stressful and people are counting
Oh,
on
yeah.
you. Your investors are counting on you. Your employees are counting on you. Your spouse and your children are counting on you, right? And it's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of hard work. It's not just a brilliant idea. Everybody's got good ideas and everybody's got the same ideas. It's all about execution.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.